What is going on, everyone? It is time for a brand new week of content. And what a week we've got. On the Return podcast today, we have many topics to discuss, including the PlayStation Network outage that affected everyone over the last couple of days, the fallout from that. And I just want to discuss, in general, the idea of these online networks in 2025. In addition, I want to recap everything that went down during the awesome 100 Goals Viewers' Choice Marathon. Some really great stuff came out of it that I feel is going to be positive for the streams, so we'll discuss that. And today, the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. Plus, later this week, I'll be appearing on a show that I want to tell you about. A little bit of an update on my health with my neck issues and more. So, we've got a very fun first day of the week podcast in store. So sit back and relax. It's time for another awesome week of content here on DSP Gaming. This is the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo! Because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Oh!
What is up, everyone? Phil here, and it is the Level 1 Podcast for Sunday, the 9th of February, 2025. I hope that you all had a great first day away after what a crazy week it was, right? Ending with that really awesome marathon that I had a great time during. I hope that you guys did too. And it is time to return for another great week. Good variety coming this week. FYI, we'll be finishing up at least one, if not multiple playthroughs. Starting up with some new things, including possible betas, seeing if we can even stream one of them later this week. Me appearing on a show, which is out of the ordinary. I haven't done that in a little bit, and that's going to be kind of fun later on in the week. Plus, of course, all the festivities here on the channel of continuing ongoing multiplayer and the like. So it's going to be a good one, all right? I'm very excited. Now, I feel like we got a few different things to talk about, all right? And where do we start? Should we just start recapping, I guess, perhaps? First off, I just want to say I'm happy that this camera now seems to be working without issue, because we had a major issue that happened during the marathon the other day, and it drove me nuts, and I basically kind of got my last straw pulled, and I was like, that's it. So if you don't know what happened, during the marathon the other day, I'm playing various different games, and then at one point we were about to use that camera in order to do Feasting with the King. And all of a sudden, the camera freezes, just goes completely, boop, frozen. And everyone's like, uh-oh, what happened? I go to open up the software for it. The software freezes and crashes. And I can't get the software to work at all. I'm like, what the? So obviously, there's something seriously wrong. Basically, then I had to take down the stream for like over a half an hour. And what I did is I forced the firmware updates, because this camera has issue with the latest security update for Windows. Basically, this camera is bricked when that security update is in place. So the only way I could get this camera to work was to roll back that security update. It did work, but then it would still have ongoing issues where it would turn off and have this nonsense going on. So finally, I said, I'm going to force all these updates. This camera, I'm not kidding you, had like 10 updates that it needed to do out of nowhere, because they've been trying to fix this camera with Windows. So I forced all of those updates to happen, and now the camera seems to be working without issue. It seems like I can easily enable the AI to follow me around now. I can get it to zoom in and out. It just seems like the firmware now is working. So let's hope that this camera continues to work, because this has been used for my face cam for about a week and it's working very well. The feedback I'm getting is that you guys really like this camera for face cam. Now that I have this new key light that goes behind it, people are saying, yeah, it looks great. You know, as a face cam now, you're the right perspective for each game. And it's interesting to see me head on playing games, because you've never really seen that head on perspective in a long time. So people are enjoying it. So, you know, it's now seems to be working. All right. Fingers crossed that we don't have any more technical issues with it. All right. So there you go. Foggy Bottom says, yes, I love this angle. It reminds me of a professional studio angle. So there you go. Well, I'm going to turn off the light for now, because it actually is, it's pretty bright for when I'm on the podcast. There we go. Okay. So we got that settled. Hopefully this will not be an ongoing issue. And actually, let me turn off the AI now so it won't follow me around anymore. There we go. Hopefully it's not an ongoing issue. And, you know, we have to see what happens moving forward. Perhaps some of these issues that I've been having with my computer and USB has to do with that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out this week. So anyway, during the marathon, let's do it. Let's talk about the marathon. Let's get this segment out of the way so we can focus on the future, shall we? So actually, here we go. We have a couple people contributing, and some people talking about the marathon. All right. So here's the deal. Let's get caught up on everything. As you can see, if you look below at the bottom of your screen, this is the leaderboard for today. I went with a Ratchet and Clank themed font today, by the way. So the marathon was a rousing success. We had good attendance. We had outstanding support. And I played a variety of games, tried some Mexican food from a new restaurant. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I even had a delicious gourmet Italian rum cake as provided by Rare Tricks. So we did a heck of a lot of awesome and fun stuff during the marathon on Friday. If you missed the marathon, okay, all of the gaming stuff is on this channel, DSPGaming on YouTube. Excuse me. The 2 taste test things were over on DSP Reacts. Okay, so you got the Mexican food that I had, and also the Italian rum cake, which I knew a lot of people were excited to see me finally try this rum cake and see what it was. All right. But I had so many things uploaded that there's basically like videos overload. And because of that, you know, I understand if people were like, oh, I don't know where anything is or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem when you have a variety marathon like this, is there's just videos on this channel, on that channel. They're uploading in random order. And, you know, it's just kind of a chaotic deal, all right? So I hope that you will enjoy the videos when you get a chance to watch them, for those who actually have, all right? Now, in regards to the marathon, all right, it went very well. As you can see, if you look at our leaderboard below here, we are already at 6 out of 10 goals hit to get to our next reward, which is DSP Tries It Arby's, the likes of which I have not eaten at in so many years that their menu is completely different now. Like the last time that I ate at Arby's, okay, they only had like roast beef and like that kind of stuff. And they had straight fries. Now their whole menu is different. They have these crinkle cut fries. They have burgers, all this stuff. I'm like, what the heck? Since when do they have all of that? So certainly trying Arby's is going to be interesting, because I'm going to try to purposefully get things that I don't know about, but also maybe get something that I used to eat and see if it's changed. Okay. So this will be great. I'm excited for it because we haven't done a fast food DSP Tries It now in several weeks. So now we'll be able to do that and test it out and see what it's like. I think you guys like the DSP Tries. It's much better when they are fast food centric. So we're going to do that coming up. Now we're already at 6 out of 10 goals. We only need a few more, and we're going to be doing by this shirt. I don't know what is going on with the collar. It keeps, look at this collar right here. This is a flannel shirt, and this collar keeps attacking my neck. It's bothering me because I shaved this morning. So my skin is all sensitive. Stupid shirt. Hopefully it stops doing that. I don't know. I must have been like in the wash. It must have been in a certain way. Now the collar won't stay put. It keeps like coming over and poking my neck. Okay. So we only need 4 more goals hit in order to unlock DSP Tries It. If we stay on pace, which is how things have been going, likely we'll be doing this within the next couple of days. And that'd be perfect because actually my wife is going to be working the next few days. So to do DSP tries it and be able to order the food and have it be our dinner one of those days would be perfect. So thank you so much for all of that support during the marathon. Just listen, we had 8 shots, okay? 5 different taste tests out of this Sakura box, which is pretty much about to be empty, all right? So because of that, I need to order a new box this week as a replacement. There's only a few things left in here. In fact, 1, 2, there's only 5 items left in the box. So basically, once we hit the Arby's goal, all right, after that, I need to have something new. So I'll look at this and probably, like I said, I'll get a new box. That won't be, I'll probably do like a European box or a Turkish box, something completely different because this was Japanese. They do have many different of these boxes on Amazon. So I'll look into another one and have it come by like, hopefully like middle of the week, we'll see. Okay. Cool. Remember, every time we hit a goal, I do a taste test out of the box, and that's why we're almost done. You guys have been so supportive in the last week to get us to the marathon during the marathon. So thank you so much for that. All right. Very excited. Now, being that we're 6 out of 10, let's push to 10. Let's get that Arby's maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, right? Let's get it going. Thank you in advance to any support. Remember, everything counts, including super chats, super stickers, memberships on the YouTube side, subs on the Kick side, and of course, tips, which count for both. Now, I will just say this. I came back this morning and I took a look. 100 subs expired on Kick. I like to maintain the levels that I have, right? 100 freaking subs expired on Kick over the day that I was off. So if you're on Kick, now would be a great time if you want to support via subs. Please do. I'll be honest. On the Kick side, it's been on the slower side this month. I would say the YouTube side has been pretty good. Tips have been great. But on the Kick side, it's been a little bit sluggish this month. So please support the channel in any way. You'll get a shout out if you do. And subs would be great today. A good way to start the month, okay? Thank you, everyone. And Jade, what's going on? How are you today? Good morning, everyone. I know a lot of people are now joining and saying hello. Shall we start with some shout outs? Shall we do that? All right, let's start with shout outs. We start off with Cosmic Chalupa, who did a $5 super chat and said the following, because this is going to be directly about the marathon. So we'll talk about everything that happened during the marathon now. We'll get this out of the way. Cosmic Chalupa says, I was sad to see Factorio end so quickly because I love the game. So here's the deal. 5 games made it into the marathon, and I had them all installed and ready to go. And basically the reason that we played the games in the order we did was voting. Like during the marathon, I asked people via polls, what do you want to see next? What do you want to see next? So we played the games in the order that people voted for them. You know, I didn't choose the order. So the first game that was chosen was chess. Then it was Lollipop Chainsaw. Then it was Factorio. And then we had time for one more game. And I made the executive decision to try Onimusha Warlords, all right? So let's talk about that, shall we? Since we want to talk about Factorio, Factorio was the 3rd game that we played. And I knew absolutely nothing about Factorio at all. I didn't even know what it was, okay? So I booted it up. And what you is you're a guy who's like a resource management guy running around mining, crafting, you know, building things. And so it's a combination of various factors. It kind of reminded me of back in the day when I used to play games like Age of Empires and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing. I only played the game for like 16 minutes, okay? And of course, it's the tutorial. So all I'm doing is I'm learning the mechanics of the game, how to maneuver the menus and the like. During the 16 minutes I'm playing it, I kid you not, the entirety of the stream came to a screeching halt. Viewers were leaving the stream en masse. Like we had, overall during the marathon, I think we had around 300 some people on YouTube and something like 50, 60 viewers on Kick. People just started leaving. We went down into the 200s on YouTube and we were dropping on Kick rapidly, okay? Both chats completely disengaged and stopped talking to me at all. They were slow as like molasses. No one was typing. No one was tagging me. Nothing. So I'm looking. I'm like, I'm playing this game for 16 minutes, and I'm just learning the tutorial of obviously with some kind of a strategy-based game, right? It's probably going to be you do resource management to build settlements and factories that are going to make things for you. I'm sure eventually probably makes robots and stuff. You probably have to defend your base against aliens and stuff. That's what I'm guessing, right? But I'm literally 16 minutes in, and everyone on the stream is dead. So I'm like, why am I playing this? Right? Like, listen, there are some games that basically are good on their own merits, and are great for playthroughs for yourself. For my kind of audience, right, who is an audience that, number one, wants to engage with me, wants to talk with me a lot. Number two, wants to see action. And that's what it is. My audience wants engagement and action. This game is the complete polar opposite. I can't engage with you because I'm trying to learn the mechanics of a complex game at an accelerated rate, and I can't give you action because there is none right now. So I'm not sure exactly what I could have done to make the game any better, all right? But I'm not saying anything negative about the game at all. Like, some people are so dumb, they're actually saying shit like, oh, you hated on Factorio and you said it's a terrible game, and then you rage quit it. Literally none of that happened. Only a complete asshole would say that because they want to make me look bad. What happened was literally no one on the stream was paying any attention to what was going on the stream. Why would I broadcast that content? Right? I want you to think about this. I'm a live streamer. My job is to broadcast content that entertains an audience and engages them so they find value in it, want to stick around, and want to support it. If in the 16 minutes I played the game, attendance dipped, no one was talking, and it was completely dead, why would I continue that? Now, that doesn't say anything negative about the game. Nor did I. I didn't say, this game fucking sucks, what a piece of shit, you guys are assholes. Never said that. Literally said, wow, this stream is dead, no one's engaging, let's just do something else, which is exactly what we did. All right? So, if you want to listen to a bunch of basically really mean-spirited people who all they want to do is try to seem like everything is negative, go ahead and listen to them, or you could just watch the actual video, in which case you'll see exactly what happened. I just sat there playing the game and no one paid any attention, and I was like, let's move on, all right? So here's the deal, Cosmic Chalupa. I feel like Factorio is a game that would work for a certain audience who knows what to expect, okay? And that audience understands that there's going to be a lot of me learning the game and having to try to absorb it on a rapid pace. The audience that was there for the marathon was not that audience, right? That audience for the marathon was a variety audience, actually. A lot of people wanted to see action. People wanted to see me play classic games. People were there for various different reasons, right? So I couldn't just keep doing it. Now, would I ever go back to Factorio? I don't know. I don't know if that's the kind of game that honestly is going to bring in attention on my streams. Maybe there is a crowd for Factorio, like you, Cosmic Chalupa, who seems to really like the game. But I hate to say it, most people I think on my streams are not that audience. So we'd have to see, could we get people to come out and support Factorio if you're okay with that very slow-paced, have to think and learn these mechanics kind of a stream. So let's see what happens, but it definitely didn't fit the format of this marathon that we were doing, right? Like, this is not going to bring in attention, and no one's paying any attention to that kind of a game during a marathon. And by the way, that's also what I've said, is that when we're doing these marathons, you really shouldn't nominate a game that's like that. If there's a game that has a lengthy tutorial where you're going to have to sit there and learn all these complex mechanics, no one wants to see that during a marathon. At most, we're going to play these games for what, an hour, hour and a half, if they're good for the stream. So why would you want me to spend my time learning this in-deep tutorial, right? So, yeah, I mean, if this was like an indies marathon event, it would have worked. It wasn't, okay? So anyway, talking about in general these games, let's do some more shout-outs, then we're going to cover all the games that I played during the marathon. Little PP Energy did a $5 super chat. If I send some gourmet head cheese from my hometown to you with fancy crackers, would you eat it on stream for a DSP tries it? What in the holy hell is head cheese? That sounds disgusting. What is head cheese? I don't know if I want to know about that. Anything that involves a head, like a cheese coming from a head, that doesn't sound very appetizing. Does anyone know what head cheese is? Oh, it's a sexual thing? Well, then no, I don't want head cheese, you disgusting freak. No, I don't know. I don't talk like that. I'm 42 years old. The last thing on my mind is head cheese, right? That's absolutely disgusting. So here's what you could do, little PP energy. You could keep your little PP in your pants and stop saying disgusting things. But you are welcome to super chat further. Thank you for that. Okay. Jade, what's going on? 44 months as an Ultra member. He says, I don't know if I'm going to like Monster Hunter. I'll just talk with you in chat today. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like Monster Hunter today either. To be honest, I have no idea. We'll see what, I've got it loaded here on Steam, and we're going to boot it up and try to adjust it and see what it plays like. You know what I'm really curious about? How's it going to run? Because remember, all the footage that they showed in all of the promotional materials, even the Capcom digital event where they showed it off, it ran at like 30 frames per second. And I hate to say it, folks, I'm just going to be honest with you. All right? Just going to be very honest. Games in 2025 should not be frame limited to 30 frames per second. They shouldn't. If this game runs poorly on PC, it might be a deal breaker for me, because the whole idea is that you're playing it on the best format and the games all perform well. If this game runs poorly, I don't even know if I'm going to care about it, right? So I guess we'll see. Let's see how it goes. By the way, people in chat are now saying head cheese is a Scottish dish. It's pork in jelly. Head cheese, known as brawn or Seuss, is a terrine-like... went away. A terrine-like cold cut made by pressing cooked pig head parts together with gelatin. Oh! 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 No thanks. I think I'll pass anyway. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of head cheese we were talking about. I think I'll pass on both. That doesn't sound appetizing in the least. Yuck. It's actually nice. Well, Dab Hands, there's some good news for you, Dab Hands. You can have it all. I abstain from the head cheese. You can have it all to yourself, all right? Keep it over there. Okay. So I'm being told the Monster Hunter Wilds beta that I'm about to play today is an outdated build. Oh, they didn't have time to update it. What? Already I'm seeing some excuses. I haven't even booted the game yet. And already I'm seeing and hearing some excuses. They didn't... It's following me? My camera's following me. I turned on the AI by accident, I guess. They didn't have time to update it. Well, what did they have time to do? Is it that the point of the beta is to show off the latest build of your game so people can know if they're interested in it and if they want to actually buy it, while at the same time you get some valuable testing data, right? So what were they doing exactly? Were they on vacation? Were they... They released the demo so people wouldn't try to data mine everything. They didn't want to have a second beta, but people pestered them so much they said, hey, fuck it. Oh, my God. All right, well, listen. Let's see what happens today. I'm going to give it an honest shot. This stream will be interesting. I'm going to give it an honest try. Number one, we're going to see how does it perform on PC. That's number one, right? Number two, we're going to see if I like the gameplay, right? We're going to test several different factors today, try to figure this out, and see if this is something that I'm interested in playing. To be frank, I don't know if it will be, and to be honest, probably not, but I figured I missed the first beta. People were a little upset that I did miss the first beta, so now I'm going to try it now, and if it's good, it's good, and if not, it's okay. This is no risk, right? The only thing we could possibly have is reward. there's no risk today on this stream. Okay, so let's give it an honest, as they say, give it the old college try and see what it's about and see if it's something that we want to partake in or not. All right. All right. We have a few more shout outs to do. Then I want to talk about the marathon. Then I want to talk about my day off today. Then I want to talk about this PSN outage. We have a lot to talk about today. Okay. Cool. So how many megabytes per second is your internet? I'm curious, what is a good megabytes per second to have? I have no idea. I actually don't even know what I have right now. It's the best available. Like, no lie, it's the best available in my area. That's what I have. But I don't know what the speeds are. I don't test them. I could eventually, but I can't do it now during a live stream. But I don't know off the top of my head. No clue. I feel like these days with the internet, it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, there was a time when internet speed was a big thing. But now, like, most internet providers, as long as you're paying for their highest tier package, they're going to give you insane speeds. Like, I'm pretty sure probably what I'm available to have, I would never use. You know what I mean? Okay. I received a $2 tip from Flatman B. What's up, everyone? Hope all is well and God bless. Thank you, Flatman. Good to see you here today. Hope you had a good Saturday and welcome to the stream for Sunday. Cool. All right. So we got some super chats. We've got some tips. How about some memberships? And how about some subs over on Kick? Like I said, Kick, sadly, I lost like 100 subs on my day off. They all expired. So it'd be great to get some of those back today. Let's get back on course. Let's hit the goal today. Obviously, let's hit the goal, right? Let's get to 7 out of 10 on this very stream. Let's get RBs coming soon as possible. Maybe tomorrow. Doesn't have to be tomorrow, but as long as it's in the next few days, it would be great, right? Okay. Beware of Bob. Just did a $2 Canadian super chat. Please use the bug glaive weapon. All right, so that's one of the weapons of the game, bug glaive. I'll have to take a look, because doesn't Monster Hunter have an insane amount of weapons? Isn't that one of the features of the game? Is that you can really customize how you play it based on what weapon you pick? And there's like an insane variety of weapons, right? Cool. I don't even know what I'll use today. We'll have to see. Okay. All right. So let's talk marathon. Here's what happened during the marathon. Number one, insane amounts of support, and thank you for that. Really. It really, really helps a lot. Got me already a head start on the next goal. And by the way, now what we need to do, we need to start planning for the big 50 celebration. Remember, every 50 goals, we do a big marathon event. So what should the next one be? We just did a viewer's choice. What should we do next? I would be down if people wanted to see a part 2 of the Mega Man Rageathon. Where now in one setting, I try to play Mega Man 4, 5, and 6 while you guys again are getting me drunk and making it overly challenging. I would be down for that. I have the collection and it was fun to do back in January. So to do that again, whether that's like late February, or excuse me, like end of February or early March, whenever it would be, I'd be down for that, okay? Or we need to come up with a different idea. What should the next marathon be? I don't know. What do you guys think? You know, people had some interesting ideas. Like, remember, one person was like, what about a 5 Nights at Freddy's marathon where I commit to playing through various 5 Nights at Freddy's games during a marathon event to really immerse me in the series and see if I end up liking it or not? Because my only exposure to 5 Nights at Freddy's was playing the original game for like 20 minutes and playing, I think it was Sister Location. I think I played that for like 20 minutes and that was it. Now, I hated the games during that 40 minutes that I played it, but I never really gave it a chance, right? So maybe that could be something interesting to do. Or another thing that people presented, what about doing some kind of a specialty challenge run? So for example, maybe we do a marathon where I play fighting games, right? But like Street Fighter and the like, but you guys actually give me challenges that I need to complete. Like it would be, hey, you got to play with Lily until you get like 15 wins. And that could take ages or it could be right away. And then we switch to another character, right? Then switch to this character, then switch to that character, stuff like that. Or you could challenge me to play a FromSoft game with some kind of a crazy challenge I've never done before. Play Dark Souls 2 with this wacky build, right? Or play Dark Souls 3, but it's a one death run. If you die, that's it. You got to start over, right? So there's all these ideas that we've had, right? These are all interesting, sound ideas. But honestly, what do we really want to do? I don't know. I think we need to talk about it. We need to hash this out and figure this out, and go from there. Okay. So let's start talking. I think it's a good suggestions to have. Let's every day. Let's start talking about this in the morning on the podcast. And figure that out. Iron Chef Sakai just did a very generous $50 super chat. He says, rethink Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's been fantastic so far. You got to swap your tunic out. It's bugging you. Not suitable for the king. My tunic. I don't know what's with the collar. Because I like this shirt. This is my really nice, relatively new green flannel shirt. I don't know why the collar is doing this, jabbing my neck. Like I said, when I shave, my skin's all sensitive because I have very sensitive skin. I hate it. But the damn thing's jabbing me here. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, so Iron Chef Sakai, thank you. Yeah, so Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out the other day. And if you guys remember, one of the things that I distinctly said was I would wait and see. Meaning I wasn't going to play it at launch because I'd seen my wife play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and we both hated the game. Like, no exaggeration. We liked it for like a half an hour. And then once she actually got into the meat of the game and the mechanics, the game was very unpolished and wonky and not very fun. And I get it. It's supposed to be the kind of game where you have to like figure out creative ways to do things. And there's 10 ways to do every objective in the game. Like, yeah, but then it's not very, how can I put it? It doesn't feel polished because there's just too many factors involved. I don't know. I just remember we didn't like it. Okay. So honestly, I was not interested in this game at all. But I said, if it comes out and I end up getting a lot of feedback that people are saying that I should try it, then I would. All right. So Iron Chef Sakai is the very first person asking me to check out the game. Like, no lie, no one else has as of yet. So we'll see if more desire pops up here in my streams that people want to see me play it. There is a problem though. All right. Here's the thing. Allow me to very briefly open up the game release schedule and take a look at it with all of you. Oops, there we go. So as you can see, Kingdom Come Deliverance came out a few days ago. We've got Mai in Street Fighter 6, who I really liked, and I'm going to keep playing with her. In fact, that's the late stream tonight. We've got the Monster Hunter Wilds demo, which we're trying today. Then we've got Civ 7. Now, I'll be honest, originally I was all over this game, and I was very excited for Civ 7. But now everyone seems to be of the impression that I shouldn't play it. Some people are like, yeah, it just seems like they made a lot of awful decisions with this game, and that it's going to be a huge flop. And if you do play it, you should just wait because it's going to end up being better. They'll probably patch it and fix the UI and do a bunch of tweaks to it that'll make it better. So it sounds like Civ 7 may be a skip for me, which sucks because the whole idea when I became a PC gamer was that I was going to play the PC exclusives, but it sounds like this is one of the first big ones and people are saying it actually stinks. So I guess maybe I should just skip it for now, okay? The Elden Ring Night Rain beta is this coming weekend. Now, I won't be here on the 15th, so if this does come out and we are allowed to stream and capture it, then I'm going to be playing it on Friday night, and then I'm going to be playing it again on Sunday night, because those are the two streams of it that I'd be able to play during those time frames. But it's not clear if anyone can capture and stream it yet. There is zero information on this. I scoured the internet. There's been no announcement whether or not you can. In the initial announcement, in the announcement where I was accepted, they said nothing. So probably what's going to happen is on the 11th, that's when they're actually sending out the codes. Probably that's when they're going to give you the NDA, if there is one. And the NDA will probably be like, you cannot capture and stream it. Or maybe there will be no NDA. And if that's the case, then I'm all over it. Okay? So let's see what happens. But that's what's the next big thing, basically. And then Avowed and Lost Records on February 18th. The Fatal Fury Open Beta starts on the 20th. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii the 21st. Do you see the point I'm making? Once we basically hit this coming weekend, we are busy throughout the entire month with big new releases. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is big right now. Here's the reason why. Okay? Because there's nothing else out. I'm just going to be honest, all right? I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying it's one of those games that slips in when there's nothing else going on. So everyone talks about it and focuses on it. But the moment that something else that's high priority comes out, you're going to notice everyone's going to forget about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and they're going to start talking about all these other games. All right? So if I were to get Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 right now, here's the problem. I still got to finish Dark Souls with mods, which I'm beating probably tomorrow. I still have to finish Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which is probably maybe 2 more streams, okay? And we're going to talk about something that happened during the marathon in a sec. There's a game that I want to play. So there's 2 games I have to finish this week while also doing Smart Guys, while making a special appearance on someone else's show, while still maintaining things such as Street Fighter 6 with maybe doing some Call of Duty gameplay. So I've already got a lot of stuff to do, all right? And then starting this weekend, all this new stuff is going to start coming out that I'm going to be involved with. So I don't know if taking essentially a filler game and starting it right now, that's going to be lengthy because this is a lengthy RPG. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 isn't like a 12-hour game. This is a very lengthy game, right? It just doesn't sound like a very good idea to me. And I get it. There's some people who like it and want to see me play it. But number one, it's not on my radar. I didn't like the first one. And I just don't see myself having time to play it. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. But for now, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm going to be honest, doesn't look very good. I think this week I got to focus on what I'm going to focus on. Okay? Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a second. Okay? Let's continue now talking about the marathon and how it went. Okay? So let's talk about the games that I played during the marathon. Obviously, Factorio didn't really work. So what else did I play? The first game that everyone voted on was chess. And here's the thing about chess. I like chess. It's a game that makes you think. It's a game that makes you feel like, you really have to put intelligent thought into it. It's not one of these games where you can really coast. But at the same time, number one, I hadn't played chess since I was a teenager. Okay? And number two, I've never played speed chess ever. I've never played any kind of timed version of chess. I've only played chess where people are playing against each other and there's infinite time limit. So I got my ass handed to me because I was playing a game that not only was I rusty at, but they were forcing my hand to play. So either I took too long and I lost the timeout, or I had to rush and made bad moves. So to give you some perspective here, I think I played 6 games. The only games that I won because my opponents quit, okay? So I won 2 games to forfeit. Then 3 whopping games I lost to timeout because the time would run out. That's just wild to me. I lost 3 games to timeout. 1 game, a guy was really good, and he kicked my ass. He checkmated me. I was like, okay, that guy was pretty darn good, admittedly. But there was a game, no lie, I was winning. I still had my queen. The other guy had almost no pieces left, and I still had my queen. All I had to do was get his king into a checkmate position, and I ran out of time and lost the forfeit because the time ran out. I'm like, oh my God. So here's the thing about chess. I enjoyed it. I actually did. I had a good time playing it. The audience, not so much. I'm not even kidding. A lot of the audience was complaining, saying this is boring. And I'm like, but you know what chess is, right? Like chess is a thinking man's game. You've got to focus on the game. You got to think moves ahead. And it was very difficult for me to do that. It was because I was trying to do that while interacting with chat and maintaining things like shout outs for contributions. It was very difficult. So not only do I have to focus on the game and timed moves, but I also have to focus on being here with you guys and being entertaining to the audience. I was like, oh man, this is a lot. It's one thing to try to relearn chess at an accelerated rate, but then to also run a stream, it kicked my butt. This is something that I feel like if we decided to actually keep going and maybe once in a while play chess, I feel like it's something I could get better at and would be way more entertaining for the audience as well as I get better at juggling the two. I know that I did very poorly playing chess and juggling the chat. It's, admittedly, that's something that's going to be taking time to get better at, all right? So I would say it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to see chess moving forward? I'd be down for it. but I don't see how well that's going to work. Unless you're okay with me having a very, strong, sharp learning curve here, trying to learn it and kind of sucking for a while before I even do anything meaningful in chess. All right. It's up to you. Let's see what people have to say about that. Okay. Second game I played was Lollipop Chainsaw. And man, if you ever want a textbook case of a game that did not age well, a game that aged like milk, they say, correct? Lollipop Chainsaw is it, okay? This was a game that when it released back in like 2012, this game was everything that I was into. Why? Because I had an immature young audience who wanted over-the-top sexual content and gore. So a game starring a scantily clad, teenage cheerleader murdering zombies with a chainsaw to a very weird soundtrack was kind of the perfect combination for a playthrough for me, okay? But today, it's the complete and polar opposite of the kind of content that I enjoy really making. The game has little to no substance at all. The writing is incredibly cringe. The gameplay is insanely repetitive. And even though this game was sold as a redone version, it pretty much is exactly the same, except the graphics are better, which is bizarre. To see this game have like modern lighting and modern reflection effects, but then to be this game that the gameplay is very primitive and the character models are bad, it's just like, oh, it's just a weird like abomination of a game. It's like a Frankenstein's monster. Like you should have just left it dead, but someone came with shock paddles and shocked it alive again, and it came up and it was all decayed, like, brrr! And now you're like, oh, what do we do here? So I played it for an hour, and here's the thing: when I first started playing it, I'm like, all right, I'm getting into it, trying to learn the combos again or whatever. And then I remembered, oh yeah, this game basically it starts off really bad, but as you play more, you unlock combos and abilities that make the game more fun. The problem is you have to play for hours till the game becomes fun. If I remember, by the end of the game, it actually is fun because you've unlocked enough abilities that you're doing crazy combos and stuff. But it's such a grind to get there that the early stages of the game are quite boring. And I played for about an hour, and we got to this point where we're in a gymnasium, and there's a bomb, and there's zombies with like fire attached to their bodies trying to go blow up this bomb. And it's like, stop the zombies from touching the fire. Like, stop 24 of them. Wait, what? It's like, here comes the first zombie. Okay, you got to go kill that zombie. It takes like, 20, 30 seconds to kill the zombie. Here comes the second zombie. Okay, I'm going to go kill the second zombie now. Okay, I'm killing this. Here comes the third zombie. Oh, a third zombie. Okay. And there's no variation. They're all the same. It's just boring as dirt. I was like, dude, I can't play this anymore. Well, I just can't. Like, that's a perfect example. When I started on YouTube 16 plus years ago, that was the kind of game that people like to see Darkside Phil play because I was always making sexual comments because zombies were all the rage at the time. Remember, The Walking Dead and everything were humongous at this time period in gaming. So everyone was all about it. And it ended up being a perfect playthrough. I finished the game in one sitting. It's only like a 6 to 7 hour game. So I ended up finishing it in one sitting. I pumped out the playthrough in a day, returned it right to GameStop for a giant refund, and ended up buying more games with it, right? Today, it's just not a game that fits anything anyone I think would want, including me. It's boring. It's cringe. It's not funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even for the time period. Like, the zombie gameplay is so outdated. No one cares about that shit anymore. So it's just like a 13-year-old relic of the past. I get it. Like, if I were to ever experience that game again, I probably would just want to watch my old playthrough, like do a retro react stream where I watch and react to my original playthrough of it and to cringe at my old comments and stuff. But man, I do not want to play that game again, So I played an hour of it. I was like, all right, I think we all got our taste of it. Time to move on. And then we did. Okay. So, and then we had played Factorio. By far, the hidden gem of the marathon, a game that I knew nothing about whatsoever, the game that I am absolutely intrigued and I want to continue playing as a playthrough, all right, is Onimusha Warlords. So for those who don't know, Onimusha was a game series that started in like 2001. It was made by Capcom, and it was the time when Capcom was trying to take a lot of their different game engines and make different genres of games out of them. So they actually took the Resident Evil style, fixed camera angles, limited resources, jump scares, puzzles, and they combined it with samurai gameplay and made this unique hybrid game that I didn't even know existed. And so people had asked me to play this. I was like, all right, let's try it. So Onimusha Warlords is a modern remake of Onimusha, the original game from back in the day, now with modernized graphics, improved controls, and stuff like that. Okay? So, excuse me. I tried it out, and it was funny because some people were like, oh, it seems like you didn't like it at first. No, it's that I had just eaten a giant meal, and I had been drinking, so I was kind of sluggish, but I had a coffee, and while I was playing Onimusha Warlords, the coffee kicked in. So when it did, I started, paying more attention to it, and I realized I really liked the game. So it has like combos and abilities and stuff that you would play in like a hack and slash fighter game, but then it's got, limited inventory, and it's got item use, and it's got puzzles that you need to solve. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And the fixed camera angles, you would never expect that in this kind of game. I was actually really enjoying myself. I played it for about an hour, and by the end of that hour, we had gotten pretty far, right? We had fought our first major boss and kicked his ass, and we were fighting different enemies. I unlocked 2 different kinds of swords, the electric sword and the fire sword, and we were leveling up our ability to unlock the locks, and I was just having a great time. Like, legit, no lie, I was shocked at how good the game is. I mean, we're playing it in 2025, and I'm playing a game from 2001. You're talking a 24-year-old game. A game that is older than half of my lifespan, when you think about that, right? And I'm like, this game is damn good. I want more, okay? So, the people are basically saying two important things here. Number one, they liked that segment of the stream. If you take a look at all the gameplay videos that I released from the marathon, the Onimusha one has the most views, okay? It's not a ton. It's like 1,000 views. I mean, like, that's what happens when you release so many videos in a day. But it has way more views than any of the other games that I played during the marathon. So right there, that's the indication that people definitely enjoyed that more than anything else that I did. That's number one. Number two, people have now told me that apparently Onimusha 2 is going to get a remaster later this year. So to play Onimusha 1 now would make perfect sense, because then I'd be able to prepare for the new one coming out later this year when it's a new release. So I think I want to do it. If anything, what we were doing with Viewer's Choice, we were looking for a game that would end up being an ongoing playthrough. I think we found it in Onimusha Warlords. So seriously, as early as this week, I want to get Onimusha Warlords into the rotation. And I want to start playing it as an actual playthrough. Now, the other thing is, I've been told it's not a very long game. It's only about 6 to 8 hours long. So if we start playing it this week, realistically, we could finish it before the 18th, when all of these other new games are coming out, including Avowed and everything else. We'd be able to wrap it up before then, okay? So I think that's what we should do. I think this week we should focus on finishing Dark Souls, finishing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and Onimusha Warlords with a dab of Street Fighter 6 and maybe some Call of Duty in there, and that should be the focus this week. Now, of course, I'm still doing Smart Guys. I'm going to, appear on the show that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So all that's still happening. But I think that should be our focus gameplay-wise, okay? Oh, great. It looks like my wireless went out. At least my cameras are working, but it looks like my wireless went out again. I'll have to mess with that in a second. Just give me a second. So, yeah. So I think we should do that this week. I think that'll be great. And I hope that you guys are excited for that. This is good. This is basically going to finish up kind of this retro string of games that we've been doing. For this downtime, and then once the new releases start hitting, then we could focus on those instead. All right. So there you go. So please support the streams today. Let's hit the goal. All right. Let's get it to the 150 so we can get to number 7 in our streak, trying to hit 10 goals and do Arby's DSP tries it as soon as possible this week. Onimusha Warlords, I think, will start this week. I don't know exactly when yet, but I think we're going to be doing that. And good stuff coming. So I think what we should do now, let's briefly discuss the schedule for the week. All right. So let's now talk about this week and what you guys can expect. All right. So today, it's going to be this Monster Hunter Wilds beta. All right. I'm excited to see if it's any good, how it performs on PC. If it's something that I'm going to be interested in playing when it comes out at the end of the month. I think it comes out the 28th. So that's going to be today's daytime stream. The late stream tonight is Street Fighter 6 with Mai Shiranui. We actually tried her on release day back on Wednesday. I was pleasantly surprised because her gameplay style was very fun and different than most of the cast because of the fan mechanics that you can use. And people hadn't learned how to completely beat everything yet, so it was fun to use her. Now, tonight, I may have completely the opposite situation. Tonight, when I go to play Street Fighter 6, no lie, everyone might have already mastered Mai Shiranui, knows everything about her, and can easily dominate this character. That's what happens with this game, is the meta literally gets spread within a day because these idiots on the internet think I can get some views on this. Let me just make the perfect video that completely spoils everything about the character and shows exactly how to beat her in every situation, and I can get like 10,000 views on my video. Yeah, but what about the era of discovery of fighting games where, you can play them and enjoy them and try to discover shit for yourself? I guess it doesn't matter anymore, right? As long as we all get views on our streams and get clickbait views and shit, I guess it's fine, right? So now fighting games get destroyed within a couple of days of anything new being in them. It's just a sad fact. I guess I'm an old man who liked playing in arcades and discovering things over the course of weeks to months because I thought that it was fun rather than 2 days. But let's see what happens tonight and go from there. Hopefully, I'll have fun with the character and we'll have a good time tonight, okay? Now, tomorrow, Monday, the day stream will be the conclusion of the Dark Souls with Mods run. We're going to finish up the DLC. Right now, we're in the Chasm of the Abyss, so we'll get through there. We'll fight Manus. I don't know how hard the Manus boss fight will be. And then we go back to the main game. We enter the Lord Vessel, and we go through that final dungeon area with all those Dark Knight dudes, and then we go fight Gwyn. Now, I don't know how different this area and the Gwyn will be or not with these mods. We'll find out. Now, I have a parry build, so I might actually try to parry Gwyn and see how it goes. I've heard that parrying is one of the best ways to actually fight Gwyn. So let's see how that goes tomorrow during the day stream. And then tomorrow night on the late stream, we got to see what happens, because here's what I want to do, but realistically, I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do, and allow me to explain what I mean by that, okay? What I want to do tomorrow night is I want to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6, all right? I haven't played it now in many days. We've been having a lot of fun playing it, right? Especially that last time I played, we were using the cleaver, then we were using the Uzi, and we was kicking ass, getting attachments for the Uzi. I was melting people with this thing, double fire and stuff like that. And if you remember, I played with a sniper rifle for the daily challenges and I actually did really well with it. So I think I eventually want to start using a sniper as well, okay? But there's a problem, all right? My neck is still killing me. And I know I'm not really showing it right now, but basically every single day my neck has changed, all right? So yesterday I woke up and I was in excruciating pain. And no lie, yesterday, all day long, no matter how I moved, I had shooting nerve pain in my neck, okay? Today I woke up, and I'm feeling a bit better, all right? But I'm still having pain and problems. Right now, instead of having shooting nerve pain, I just have an aching pain going down my shoulder blade into my right arm, okay? Every day it's different. So you know what that means? Because this happened to me before. Basically, this disc in my neck and or the vertebrae that is messed up, it's shifting every night when I sleep. And eventually what's going to happen is it's going to shift back to its natural position. It's going to be fine again, but it could take a long time. I had this one time I told you, it took over 2 months for it to finally go away. So I don't know how long it's going to take. It got so bad, I ordered a special pillow that's being delivered today that's supposed to be the perfect, like, orthopedic pillow for neck and back. So you can sleep on it like this. You can sleep on it on your side. You can sleep on your arm and shoulder can go on it. And it's all built for people who have neck and back issues. It's a specialty pillow. It's even patented. It has patented technology for this thing, okay? So I guess we'll see what happens. Like, I want to play Call of Duty tomorrow night, but if I'm still got this pain going, I realistically don't want to sit here with keyboard and mouse playing and chancing that I'm going to stress out my shoulder and arm further when it's already in pain. All right. So we have to see what happens. Maybe after tonight, sleeping on this pillow, I'll feel a bit better for tomorrow. I guess, we'll find out. But yeah, this does really suck that this is an ongoing thing. If you remember, it was like Monday or Tuesday of last week when first I heard it. And it was in my freaking sleep. Of all things, hurting it in my sleep. Like, what? It's so dumb. So, yeah, it sucks, but what can I do, right? So I just got to tough through it for now. And we'll go from there and we'll see what happens, all right? So, okay, so maybe Call of Duty Tuesday night, maybe or Monday night, we'll see. Tuesday, the day stream will be I almost said Call of Duty. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and we're going to be almost done with the game. We're actually in chapter 12 right now, and the game has 17 chapters. So we probably got 2 more streams in it, and then we're going to wrap up Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. The night stream on Tuesday night will be Smart Guys, my weekly wrestling commentary show. Remember, Ashton and I had a conversation, and we decided we're going to focus just on the wrestling commentary and stuff like that. There's not going to be grill fill segments at this point because we tried it for many weeks, and it's just not working. It's not engaging the people who we thought it would engage. It's certainly not bringing any new attention or support to the show, and it's wasting a lot of time. It's making the show way longer, and we're not benefiting from it. So we're just going to do wrestling commentary this week, okay? So for those of you who've been saying, hey, we just want the wrestling, you're going to have a good time this week because that's mostly what it's going to be, okay? Fair enough? All right, Wednesday, okay, kind of up in the air because now we have to decide what we want to do, all right? Do we want to do, hold on because I have it here. Do we want to do more Ninja Gaiden and just beat it right away? Or maybe I want to start with Onimusha Warlords, okay? And I was thinking we probably should start with Onimusha Warlords because I had such a good time with it. Maybe give it a major stream on Wednesday and see how it does, okay? And then Wednesday night, maybe we do more Street Fighter 6 with Mai Shiranui, all right? So that way I'm playing it a bunch of times and I'm trying to stay in the rotation and not, get too rusty with her before everyone masters his character, all right? So that's it for now. On Thursday night, I'm not going to be doing a regular late night stream. On Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be appearing on a live show with Stephen Cambian as host. All right, so he's calling this, I'm going to be on episode 1 of a new series he's starting. And the name of the series is The Most Controversial People on the Internet. All right. I already told you what the show will be, but just to reiterate, here's what his idea for the show would be. Okay. He says, I think you have a good story of being an early adopter of gaming streams and Let's Plays. Obviously, you were a pioneer of that genre, and we want to talk about your early history and the explosion of gaming channels, Twitch, girls who stream their gameplay bikini-clad, WWE mobile controversy, your super crazy trolls, the lengths that they go to. I also want to talk about what it takes to survive as a content creator, and because I'm sure you have some excellent insights having survived the game for so long. I promise you a fun and cathartic interview, a journey through your history with some highs and yes lows. But, I want to basically have a highlight on your survivor attitude despite all of your detractors. Sounds like a great show to me. That sounds like it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be informative. It's going to expose me to a whole new audience. His audience, apparently, he talked to his audience about it a day or two ago, and they seem thrilled. They seem like this is a great idea. They want to see new content from him, and this is a new kind of content from him. He usually doesn't do this kind of content. So this is going to be exciting, I feel. So this is going to be Thursday night. Instead of my normal stream, I'm going to be appearing on his channel, which is, let me see if I can find it here, let you guys know where it is. It is youtube.com/@truthseekers. Wait, where did it go? @truthseeker show. @truthseeker show. Okay? That's what you want. @truthseeker show. That's where you can find it. So this should be interesting. All right? I'm going to have a good time. Now, I've already notified him about the unhinged weirdos that are going to show up to this show. So he's well aware that My trolls are going to show up and bombard the chat and everything. And I told him, I'm not going to let them derail our conversation or whatever. I'm not going to pay attention to it. Like, basically, I'm just going to act like we're offline having a conversation. I'm not going to have the chat open or nothing. I just want to be on the show and, but I already warned him. Expect unhinged behavior. Expect racism, sexism, doxing. They're going to do every nasty thing they could possibly do to derail the show. They're also going to be, bringing up a zillion toxic things about me, of which Steven's already going to be well educated on because he's already educated himself on me for this appearance. All right. So there you go. We'll see how the show goes and go from there. But I'm excited to do something. I haven't done something like this in a while, right? And I'm excited to do it. Steven's been multiple times on Kino Casino as a guest, and he's a great guest. I was on the election night show with him, along with many other guests, and it was a good time. So I feel like this is going to be a good time. I do. I feel like this will work well, and it'll be a good show. So let's see how it goes Thursday night. If you want to see me, that's where I'll be. Now, he said that the interview will roughly be 90 minutes, but we'll see what happens. If it really is only 90 minutes, then what I might do is start up a quick stream over here on DSPGaming after the fact, just to say, hey, here's how I feel it went. And, let's decompress for a little bit. Much like when I've done other appearances and things, you can do like a little bit of a decompression situation. But it depends. Like if I'm on there over 2 hours or whatever, then we're not going to be doing that or anything. It depends on timing, basically. Okay. So let's see how it goes. That'll be Thursday night. And essentially Friday, I don't even know what we're doing yet because, let's get further in the week and see how stuff goes and go from there. Okay, cool. Okay, everyone. So I think I've pretty cumulatively covered many different things. There is one more topic that I'd like to cover today before we kind of get to a little bit of open Q&A. All right. Oh, by the way, beware of Bob did a $2 Canadian super chat. I recommend Hunt Showdown and all of the Onimusha games. I don't know what Hunt Showdown is. Never heard of that. But Onimusha, I'm now a fan of the first one. So after we play Warlords, if I really like them, I'm probably going to end up playing more of them. I feel like that's a good classic series. So thanks for the $2 Canadian. Sadly, it's only about the equivalent of $1 American. But there you go. Okay. So, by the way, let's get some support going, everyone, shall we? Let's get it going, please. Let's get some, so we have no subs on Kick today. Let's get some subs over on Kick today, all right? Like right now, we got nothing. Like I said, I lost 100 subs on my day off, so let's get some subs back on Kick. Remember all the things that are available. For example, for 25 gifted subs, you can get yourself a VIP badge. And remember, I also made it that you can gift badges to others. If you want to gift a badge to someone else in the chat who you're friendly with, you could do that. That's up to you. It doesn't have to be just for you, because some people already had badges, but then we're desiring to gift them to others, okay? So let's get some subs over on Kick, and let's get some memberships on YouTube. Right now, we don't have any. Let's get some support, and let's get that rolling, please. I see several people, I see many people in both chats who do not have crowns. What's up, King Michael? Good evening. How are you? Or good morning, I should say. How are you? Actually, it's afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? Okay. So the one big thing that I want to talk about is something that's been going down the last 48 hours. Particularly, it actually started during my marathon, all right? And it persisted throughout that marathon and even into my day off yesterday. And I felt that it would be an interesting topic to talk about. By the way, Iron Chef Sakai has gifted the first sub of the day over on Kick. So thank you, Iron Chef Sakai. Let's get you on the leaderboard. I appreciate that. Now we're up to $70 of support and climbing, almost halfway to our goal for the stream. Let's hit it. Okay. So, for the first time in a very long time, out of nowhere, back on Friday, February 7th, PlayStation Network went down. And unlike other times that it's gone down in recent memory, it didn't go down for an hour or two and then come back up. This was an extended outage. This lasted over 24 hours. And for the first time in many years, people started to realize just how big of a deal it is when one of these game networks go down and how much it actually affects your access to content. Okay? This outage lasted over 24 hours, and then it started to slowly come back for people over the course of the last 24 hours. But some people right now actually are still reporting that it is down for them, while others are saying that it went up like fast. So it seems like it's a spotty issue, and it was worse for some and better for others, which is kind of weird. If it's a network outage, why would it affect different people differently in different regions? I guess it had something to do with certain servers or whatever. Okay. So, here's the deal with this, right? In regards to PlayStation Network going down and causing this widespread havoc, I recall many, many years ago, back in the PlayStation 3 era, you may recall it was 2011. And due to some hacker group, what was the name of the squad? Was it like Lizard Squad or something like that? They hacked PlayStation Network apparently. And due to this security breach, Sony went into panic mode because they were afraid that all the customer data was going to end up being compromised. So they purposefully took down PlayStation Network for like a month. No one could play games on PlayStation Network for like 30 days as they redesigned their security system in order to prevent this kind of access from happening in the future. Since 2011, we have not seen anything like this happen to any major gaming network, not the Xbox Live system, not PlayStation Network, not the Steam Network. There's been some outages here or there, but never anything so extensively bad that it's gone down for like more than a day. Uses a blip here, a blip there, down a few hours, big deal, comes back. So this was big news that PlayStation Network was down on Friday. Now you maybe say, well, I don't really get it. Like, why is this such a big deal? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, obviously, when PlayStation Network is down, it means no one can play any PlayStation games online at all. Doesn't matter what console you're on, PS3, PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5, PS5 Pro. When there's no network, you're not playing anything online at all. It's just not possible, okay? And that sucks, obviously, right? But people started to realize that in the modern era of 2025 gaming, it's not necessarily just about online play anymore, okay? So first off, if you have what's called console sharing enabled, meaning you have multiple accounts on your console and they can access your game library or vice versa, or if you don't have your console enabled as what's called the primary console for your account, when PSN is down, you can't play any games. Yeah. So unless it is your console and the primary console and everything's linked that way, you no longer have access to any games at all. So there were some people who were like, I booted up my PS5 and because Xbox Live was down, I couldn't access any games on my console at all. They were all just like, nope, sorry, come back later. Okay. Now, there's some other situations as well that came up that people didn't realize. For example, there are some games that you think you're playing offline, but for some odd reason, they have an always online mechanic you may not even be aware of, and they don't have the ability to be played without that internet connection, and therefore, you can't play them. Okay? Now, that's stupid. If it's a single-player game and you're not actively choosing to access the online multiplayer, why can't you play the game? Some games were just coded like that. So there were a good selection of games that were not available when PlayStation Network was down simply because of the way that they were made with this online always connection issue. In addition to this, a huge oversight was discovered that no one had figured out until this happened. Just listen to this one. So as you well know, when PlayStation 5 was released many years ago, there were two models, the disc and diskless versions. There's one model that had the disk drive installed onto it and another model that didn't have the disk drive. Now, what Sony eventually did is they started selling the disk drive separately as an add-on. And now with the current PS5 Pro system, the base system does not come with the disk drive no matter what. You have to get just the base system without the drive. If you want the drive, you have to buy it separately and then have it be a separate accessory or peripheral for your PS5 Pro, okay? However, get this. When you boot up your PS5 Pro, your disk drive has to sync with your PS5 via the PlayStation Network. Yeah. So there were people who had their PS5 Pros off and the network went down. They turned on their PS5 Pro, and since the network was down, they couldn't use their disk drive, and they owned all of their games on disk. So they couldn't play any games at all because their disk drive was essentially bricked until PlayStation Network came back. Now, some people had left their PS5s on, and that was okay because the link had already been established and it didn't need to double check it. So it was fine. But if you turned off your PS5 Pro, you couldn't use your disk drive till the network came back. So this is what I mean. What's happening now more and more is basically we are all becoming reliant on an always connected internet connection. And if we don't have internet, we can't do anything. Okay? Right now, if my internet went out, I'm pretty sure I could play a bunch of games on my PC and I could still record. I just obviously wouldn't be able to stream or upload, but at least I'd be able to play a lot of the games. You know, obviously I can't play Street Fighter online. You know, I can't play anything with an online component, but I could still boot up and play games, right? Via Steam, these games are offline, so you should be all right. But what if I can't access Steam at all because the internet's down, right? What if my internet's out? How do I access Steam to play these games? Steam has gone down while I was playing games. Sometimes this happens on like Tuesday afternoons, right? And when Steam goes down, you can still play the games offline, okay? But you just can't play them online. So as long as you're playing a single player game with the offline component, you're good. I remember distinctly this happened when I was playing the Warhammer game, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. I was like right in the middle of it and then it crapped out, but then I was able to keep playing it after it crapped out. I was like, oh, okay, at least you could still play, right? So that's a good thing. But this whole online component deal, right? It's an interesting subject of debate, and it's becoming more and more prominent in the modern era. Let's be honest. Can we very much be honest with each other? Physical discs are on the way out, whether you like it or not. Very shortly, you will not be able to purchase physical discs for any console or the PC. A lot of these physical copies you buy now, you open a game box, and there's no disc inside. There's a voucher with a code that you enter into your online service of choice, and you just download the game digitally anyway. They're not even bothering to produce the physical discs anymore. These game publishers don't want to spend the money to have the logistics to mass produce the discs, print them, put them in boxes, and then have that physically available. All right. Now, the writing was on the wall many years ago during the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway when I started giving away empty boxes as rewards. And everyone made fun of me, but I gave them away for free. Now, game companies are charging you for empty boxes, but you gave me shit for giving the box away for free? Well, fuck you. All right, I'm kidding. That was a joke, obviously. But no, you know, this is the truth is basically, these publishers have been going this way for many, many, many years. All right, they have been. And people just want to like ignore everything going on around them in the real world. No, I don't like that. So I stick my fingers in my ears like I can't hear you, neener, neener, neener. No, it's been happening. All right, these companies don't want to give you physical copies anymore. To be honest, the physical copies never meant anything to begin with because you may not realize this. You never have owned a single video game that you ever purchased. Let me repeat that because a lot of people don't understand that. I feel like I need to highlight and emphasize this point. You have literally never owned a single video game that you have ever purchased. Do you understand that? If you don't understand that, I think I need to explain it to you, okay? When you buy a video game, you're not buying the game outright. You are purchasing a license to play that game. If you were buying the game outright and you owned it, that means you would own the source code. That means you would be able to mess with the game and edit the game and reproduce and resell the game. You don't have that. All you have is the ability to load the license and play the game, period. So because of that, people have gotten this weird misconception that because they had a physical copy that they owned the game. You do not. And these companies have found ways over the years, sadly, to screw over people out of their game licenses, right? Have this really weird security system, this DRM system, where you need to have a code or a password or something to access the game. But then once that system gets shut down at some point, the game's dead. You can never access it ever again. Or what about buying access to a game via a network, but then they shut down that network? Oops. Now you can't ever play the game ever again, right? Or you can't re-download it if you don't already have it stored locally. So this has been a big issue. Everything going digital, everything going online. And I think finally we got a big reality check this last Friday when PlayStation Network went down, and all of a sudden no one had access to a bunch of content on PlayStation consoles, right? So, I mean, here's my take on it, all right? I used to be 100% a console gamer for an extended period of time. I would say it was probably around 2012, 2013 when I started direct capture, all right? And I went pure console because my PC wasn't good enough to basically direct capture and play a game at the same time. So I just went pure console. And I was pure console from then all the way until summer of 2024 when a fan so generously gifted me this high-end gaming PC that I've been using ever since. I was always beholden to either PlayStation Network or Xbox Live. If they were up and running, great. But if they weren't, I was basically screwed. I guess to some extent you could also say Nintendo Online as well, although I don't think Nintendo Online is as bad with the access of games, but maybe it is. I don't even know how they really work because I don't really play Nintendo that much to really understand it. But yeah, so all this time, I'm like, yeah, you got to pay for the services and whatever. And then I became a full-time PC gamer, right? With exceptions, I have PS5 Pro and I still play on it from time to time. But for the most part, I'm all PC now, right? I'm all in on PC. I have not spent a single dollar having to access Steam or play games online. I don't have to pay for these networks, okay? Why is it, let's be honest here, why are people paying for Xbox Live and PlayStation Network when you can get all of those features, all of that access, all of it absolutely for free on PC? Right? For years, the justification was, oh, well, it's because we're providing you all these services. We're giving you a messaging system. We're giving you voice chat. We're giving you all of that. And that is all well and good. They're right. On Xbox Live, you got a friends list. You got voice chat. You got all that. You got that on PlayStation Network. But to be honest, how many of us are actively really using those networks in 2025? Most of us have moved on, right? If you're going to talk to your friends online, you're probably using Discord to have voice chat, to invite people to games. Discord has full integration on all of these consoles now too. And Discord is free. So why exactly are we actually paying for Xbox Live and PlayStation Network in the modern era? What benefits are we getting by paying for these services monthly that we wouldn't get if we were to be a PC gamer and don't have to pay for these services? And the answer is very simple. Absolutely nothing. Zero. There is no benefit at all to being a monthly subscriber of Xbox Live or PlayStation Network in the modern era. These companies will try to justify and be like, oh, but you get access to games every month. We'll give you 3 free games and we'll do this and do that. It's all bullshit. In fact, Sony has already announced they're phasing out PlayStation 4 games. The only games available now that for free will be on PS5. They're reducing their number of games that are available. It's all smoke and mirrors. In truth, there is no real benefit anymore to paying for these networks. They're just arbitrarily forcing you to do it because you've always had to. But you notice they're not improving the networks. They're not adding features. They're not doing anything to increase the quality of what you're getting, yet they're charging you more. They have routinely increased the cost of these services in the last several years, but not added any added benefits. So why is it that if you're a PC gamer, you don't have to pay for Steam, you don't have to pay for the online connectivity to any of your games, You get free voice chat and everything via third-party apps like Discord, and you're not paying a dime. But then if you go on console, all of a sudden you have to pay for these networks. I think it's time, as a gaming community as a whole, for us to finally get together and put our foot down about these and say, we don't want to pay anymore because you're not providing the added value you used to be. Yes, back in the day, when Xbox Live started charging, people were very skeptical, but it gave amazing quality voice chat, much better than what was available via other things. A friends list with clients list where you could easily invite people to games from it, and it made it so much better than the experience without it, right? Then they started offering the games with gold system and things like that. So you were getting the added value, and it made sense. But over the last decade plus, things have dramatically changed. Now, everything can be done for free via other things. So we don't need to have a messaging system. We don't need to have the voice chat. None of that needs to exist anymore. Remember when people were like, oh, you could stream from your console. It's your way for you to be an online streamer. How many people realistically are streaming from their consoles and doing anything with it outside of getting 4 views and it being a hobby, right? Anyone who's anyone has gotten a PC and is now streaming via a dedicated client. No one's using the PlayStation app or the Xbox app to stream and get any kind of attention for themselves. So, all of these services, these bonus features, these things that make you feel like you're getting value out of PlayStation Network or Xbox Live are all smoke and mirrors. They're bullshit. Why should you pay for the service that you're not using? And what really got to me is I am still paying for PlayStation Network, even though I probably shouldn't be anymore, and I'm probably going to end up canceling my sub because I was thinking about it, like, what am I paying for? What am I actually doing on PlayStation right now that I need PlayStation Network? Nothing. Every once in a while, occasionally something pops up and I need it again. But it's very rare that I need anything. So at this point, I think, you want to know what the funniest part was? Do you want to know when PlayStation Network renewed? It auto-renewed for me on the day that the network was down. It was actually yesterday in the morning. PSN was still down, and I got the auto-renew message, and they auto-charged me. And I stared at it, and I said, why the hell am I doing this? Like, what is the point of me doing this? Okay? Now, there is one argument that can be made, but it's very specific. Well, what about Game Pass? Because Game Pass includes the Xbox Live network. So, does that make sense? Well, here's the thing. If you're constantly playing games via Game Pass, if you're getting value out of Game Pass, then yes. For example, I'm going to be playing Avowed in a week, and I'm not going to buy it because it's on Game Pass, right? There's going to be several games on Game Pass coming the next few months that I'm going to enjoy because they're solely on Game Pass. Right now, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, that's on Game Pass. I mean, what else? Crap. Let's just look at the games that I played recently on Game Pass. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I didn't buy it. It's on Game Pass. Indiana Jones, that was on Game Pass. Stalker 2, sure, I dropped it like a hot rock, but it was on Game Pass. Microsoft Flight Simulator, on Game Pass. When we go back to Lies of P for its DLC, well, the base game's on Game Pass. See my point? So, yeah, if you're getting that level of value out of paying for an online service, then that's a different story. You're not just paying a base price for the liberty to play a game online or to have a voice chat system or whatever. Game Pass, I feel, has the value there because you're getting access to all these games plus the online connectivity. But PlayStation Network, just basically paying every month just to play games online, is the biggest fucking scam that any game company ever tried to pull that no one realizes is an actual scam. When Xbox Live first started, it was added value. They were giving you things that didn't exist anymore. Now, those things exist for free via other methods, but at least if you get Game Pass, you're getting free games every month. PlayStation Network literally has zero fucking value for the consumer, but Sony pockets your money every month if you're a PSN member just because. That kind of shit needs to end, especially when it's exposed how many services they have linked to PSN. And then if it goes down for a day, can't play certain games offline. You can't even use your goddamn disk drive because they made you a slave to this service. What a joke. To make matters even more silly, they now have PSN going back up, and guess what they're going to give everyone? 5 extra days of PSN. Oh, goody gosh. So I lost access to my online service for 2 days, and you're going to give me 5 more days of that same service. Why not actually give something as like a value or a thank you, like a game or, maybe some credits? Instead of just giving me 5 days of PSN, why not give me $5 to $10 of digital credits on your store that I could just buy something with? You want to know why? Because giving everyone 5 days of PSN for free literally costs Sony nothing. It's a meaningless gesture. It doesn't mean anything because they can just do it and it doesn't sacrifice anything. It's not them saying we're sorry PSN was down. It's the guise of a makeup gift when it's not a gift at all. But people are foolish and fall for that shit. Okay? So anyway, yeah, it's pretty sad the situation we're in. Modern gaming does not require any kind of payment for online service. If Steam can do it for free and all other games on PC literally give you all of these features for free, then there's no reason we should be paying for PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live / Xbox whatever in 2025. These systems should be changed and or abolished, and gamers should rise up and be like, we want to be modernized. Why are we being held in the digital past? And it's because they keep paying for these services, And again, it takes a while, but every once in a while, things like this get exposed. And I think that it's time for us to all start having this conversation together. And, now I kind of get it. For many, many years, I didn't. But now that I'm a PC gamer, I'm really starting to see the concrete advantages to being on PC. For all the problems that you have with tech and shit, right? All the technical issues that we have, you're not getting cheated. You're not getting nickel and dimed. You're not getting locked into certain services. You have a lot more freedom on PC to do what you want, play different versions of games, mod games, right? You're the boss. You're in charge when you're a PC gamer. When you're on console, you get bullied around. Sony tells you, hey, you got to do it this way, and you have to. They lock access to their games. They make it so that you can't play certain parts of games unless you pay. What the hell is that? So, yeah, let's see what happens moving forward. But man, has my eyes been opened. And after having PS Plus being paid for, ongoing now for a while, I think it's time for me to cut the cord. I think I'm going to probably log into my PlayStation today, maybe tonight, and jump into my account and just cancel it all. Because I don't know why I'm pissing away this money for a service that I'm getting no benefits from. But I'll keep Game Pass because I got more games coming right around the horizon, including Avowed, that I will be paying and playing. And I do still agree that Game Pass is the best value for the buck for the modern gamer. So, okay. All right, guys. So, that's all I got for you today. Now, would you guys like to chat about anything? Or should we get set up for this Monster Hunter beta? It's up to you. Well, I didn't do any Q&A with you guys today. We didn't have time. By the way, Mayor Charlie did a $5 super chat. I said, preach it, Phil. By the way, I love your new channel designs. I'm glad to hear that. A lot of rebranding, a lot of new stuff this year, right? Everything feels fresh this year, which is excellent. So thank you for that, Mayor Charlie. And Iron Chef Sakai, 10 months as a member, has said, please swap your top hashtag itchy. It's actually not itchy. It's, oops. 75, correct? So now we're halfway to our goal. It's actually not itching me, but like I said, I have sensitive skin and I shaved. So every time that this touches, it just feels like it's not itchy. It's just like, like I get a tingle. Like, oh man, I don't know why it's doing that, but okay. All right. Well, are we good? I guess we could end the show and then we'll get set up for Ratchet and Clank. That's what we're playing today. No, we're not. Ratchet and Clank is the font. We're going to get set for Monster Hunter Wilds Beta. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Level 1 podcast. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about what I felt about Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll also be talking about how Street Fighter 6 went for my second session here with Mai Shiranui today. And of course, we'll be talking about any new game news or any happenings. So I hope that you guys will join me tomorrow for another fun show. All right, but in the meantime, thank you all for watching the Level 1 podcast, and I'll see you on Monday.